Hey everyone, Brian here from Rival. Today we're going to go ahead and we're going to fit the new doors that we've designed to the new Ranger 570 SP. Okay, let's get into it. Okay, so what we've already done is we have already taken our net off. So there's a net that comes standard here. You need to take it off first, and then also you need to take off the clip the net actually clips into. Second step then is we're going to go ahead and take off the cover here, and we're going to remove some plastic pins to do that. There are specific tools that you can get to help you remove these, but you can also just use a flathead screwdriver. Basically all you do is just stick your flathead in underneath there and just prise it up, and then once it comes up that far you just pull that out like that. We've already gone ahead and taken a few out from this side, but what you'll need to do is you'll need to remove this one, this one, this one, and a few along here as well, which will make your life a lot easier when you're fitting these brackets here. But then there's also a bracket that's in behind here, which you can't see on the video, but it's in behind here that you need to undo to be able to pull this covering off. Once you've got that undone, this covering just lifts off and exposes where we need to bolt our brackets into. What we've done is we've already gone ahead and we've taken out these two bolts here, which are frame bolts. Okay, just do one side at a time so that you don't get like it let go. So take these two here out, and then there's also two other frame bolts down here that we've undone already. What we're going to reuse the OEM bolt in here, okay, but we're going to replace these bolts in here. Also, we've already undone these pins along the back of this plastic, so you do need to get your hands in here. What you can do, just to give yourself a bit more room, I usually just get a piece of timber, just stick it in there. It allows just a bit more access for your hand, and you're not scraping the back of your hand on the plastics all the time going in and out. Next, what we're going to do is we're going to fit this bracket in. So we've got some 45mm bolts here, which are going to go through here, and then we've got some spacers. Okay, now we've got those in. We've got our spacers, and what the spacer is designed to do is to go between here and the bracket. Okay, we're going to put the bracket in like that so that the angle face is going down this way. Right, so we've got our spacers in here now, so we're going to take our bracket, we're going to sit it there like that, put our washers on, and our nuts. So now that we've got that far, we need to do this up, and remember, because this is a roll cage part, you need to do this up to manufacturer's specification torque ratings. Now that we've got our top bracket put on, let's go ahead and put our bottom bracket on. So we've already unloosened these two bolts here off. These we're going to reuse the OE bolts. So we're just going to take the nuts off, and we're going to position our bracket on here. Grab our nuts, reinstall both of those. Right, now we've got them sitting in there like that, we'll go ahead and we'll do them up tight. Right, now we've got this bracket put in and done back up to manufacturer specification because it's a frame bolt. We're going to go ahead and reinstall our plastic cover. I'm just going to take my bit of timber out, and then we'll go around and we'll reinstall all of the plastic pins back into the cover. You may have to be able to get at these to just loosen them off for adjustment, but you can get your hand in behind here, and these ones here you can get at. It's just easier if you take this cover off when you're doing the initial install, but for tweaking adjustments you can get your hand in there and behind and get the nuts undone. Right, so we've put our brackets on here and here, and now we need to install the bracket that holds the male part of the hinge. This is very easy. We've got two Allen key bolts that are going to go up here because this is visual from the outside, so it looks nice and pretty. And we've got two hex head bolts that are going to go in this section in here. They're going to bolt to the brackets that we've already bolted to the bike. So let's go ahead now and we'll fit this bracket up. What I've done is I've left these just a fraction loose as well, this bracket here and this bracket here. It just helps when you're putting this bracket on, and you're able to get back in behind here and in behind here to do those back up tight once you've got this bracket situated. So we're going to go ahead now and put our Allen key bolts in there. Just going to leave these loose until we've got them all in. Sometimes there's some differences between bracket to bracket and bike to bike. Right, so they're in now. We'll go ahead and we'll do them up, and we'll do our brackets up behind here tight. So next we're going to install the actual bracket that holds our pin on, or the actual door latches to. So we're going to use these two bolt holes here. But first of all, we're going to have to attach our pin. So this pin here is actually what the door latches onto. And as you can see in our bracket, we have an adjustment here, so you can adjust it up and down for fitment. So you're going to spin one of these nuts on first. These are like skinny 17mm nuts. You're going to spin one of those onto the pin first. Then you're going to slide this through, and then you're going to be able to put one on at the back. Okay. And this also allows you to, if you need to adjust the pin in, you just adjust the nuts, and if you need to adjust the pin out, you just adjust the nuts as well. Right, so now we're going to take our bolt, and we're just going to bolt through here. Got a nut and washer goes in the back. It's a little bit of a challenge here, there's not a lot of room, but you can definitely get them in here. No problem at all. Right, so I won't do these up super tight, but I'm going to do them up firm so that we've got a base point to start from. And then we'll go ahead and we'll do the fun part and we'll swing the door. The last part to fitting this bracket that holds the male part of the hinge on is this little rubber bracket here. It goes around your shoulder guard and basically loops around here like that. And all you do is just a nut and bolt through there, and that's just a little bit of extra mount. So when we're installing the actual brackets, this is the female part of the hinge. This actually bolts to the door, and we've got this design that we use here. So like 3 bolts, and it's all welded on. This little handpiece here allows you to put that in at the back and hold it, and then you set your actual female part of the hinge on here, and you can just put your bolts through like this, like so. Okay. There we go. So I've just done them up nice and loose just to show. But the major benefit of this hinge is it allows a lot of adjustment. So it allows that much adjustment going forward and backwards, and also allows adjustment going up and down when you actually mount it to the bike to get it to sit correctly and open and close correctly. So now the next part is the fun part, and it's actually getting to swing your door. So we're going to insert it over these 2 door hinges like this. All we do is just line those up, slide it on. And then all we need to do now is just do all of our adjustments to get it to close, open and close correctly. And then the last thing is to install our door limiter. So the last part is we're just going to install our door limiter. I've already slipped it over here, and then all we do is just slip this side over there like that. And that stops our door from opening up and swinging against the side and hitting the back of our bike. Right, so we've now got it all fitted. So if you need to adjust, sometimes they fit and they're just perfect, but if you do need to adjust, I'm just going to run through how to do a few adjustments. So if you've got, the way that I would do it is I would leave these a little bit loose, okay, firm but not tight, and then you can just bring your door forward and put it over your pin, okay, then that's going to sort of give you a really good indication of where you need to tighten it down. So then I would tighten 2 or 3 of these bolts down on each one. I would then open it and make sure it still opens and closes properly, okay. You may have to also adjust the pin in here, as I discussed before, which is the pin that actually goes inside here and holds onto the door. So it has up and down adjustment, okay, and there's also adjustment in the bolts that go into the roll cage. So there's loads of adjustment in here to make it fit, because from bike to bike they can be slightly different. So we build in adjustment to allow an easy fit, so that you can have years of fun with the doors.